was never afraid to shake some trees or to plant some seeds in his quest to make Georgia a better place.
That's Keith Mason, the one-time campaign manager and confidant of former Governor Zell Miller, who has died at the age of 86. And Jeff Hollinger is with me now. Jeff, how would you sum up the life and legacy of Zell Miller?
What an extraordinary life. I think you look at him in this context as a bridge between what was in the South and what we know now. Here's a guy who began as the mayor of Young Harris between 59 and 60. He was in the state legislature, and then he became the chief of staff for Governor Lester Maddox, who, of course, was the segregationist. And he was the one who was able to whisper in Governor Maddox's ear about diversity, about hiring people of color. This is someone who saw that segregation was simply not moral, and it was not sustainable.
What kind of man outside of the governor's mansion was he?
Well, you hear so many stories about him, of a larger-than-life figure, someone who really loved baseball. I mean, I would run into him at Braves games. You know, during the Braves championship season of 1991, he was in the parade wearing a Braves hat. He loved baseball. He was crazy about baseball. He was crazy about country music. He was a larger-than-life figure in the state of Georgia. There are some of those individuals that are almost impossible to think of this state without thinking of them. Andrew Young, Maynard Jackson, John Lewis, Nathan Deal, Johnny Isaacson, Zell Miller. These larger-than-life figures that have had such giant impacts on all of our lives in such a big footprint.
And you talk about impact, how about, you know, kids going to school, going to college? For a lot of people, the name Zell Miller means, hey, I'm going to college for free.
He was such a great defender and a proponent of public education. And what the lottery and the Hope Scholarship Program has meant to millions of kids in the state is staggering. I saw someone that I worked with here named Ben Mayer, who was a very successful, was and is. He was with us for many years. He's now producing the MSNBC show in the morning, and he was saying, because of this governor, I don't have any student debt. And I think that really sums up, you know, a lot of kids and a lot of adults now in our state that don't begin life with all of this debt, the burden of debt, and they have a wonderful education from a public institution in our state.
All right. Thanks so much, Jeff.